have entered the Prep Zone. I'm Bill Gallagher. Alongside me is John Sartori, and we are coming to you from the Pearl, where the Ben Franklin Falcons have come down to take on the upstart Pearl River Rebels. John, talk to us a little bit about this Ben Franklin team that's coming down today.
Well, for Ben Franklin, a 30-22 win over Ridgewood was the result in week one for the Falcons. Ever since then, they've lost 4 straight, and the offense just hasn't seemed to be getting going. 2 of those 4 losses, they've only scored 7 points offensively, and they let up a lot of points on defense, so they're going to have to play it much more sharply tonight if they want to pull off the upset over Pearl River.
And Pearl River, as we mentioned, with new head coach Mike Labradette, is off to a 3-2 start, and they've had some success so far this year. Give us a little bit of the details on the Rebels.
Yeah, in case you haven't heard, Pearl River is one of the most improved teams in the state of Louisiana, not just St. Tammany Parish. Coach Mike Labradette, as you said, Bill, is off to a 3-2 start in his first year here at Pearl River, and this for Pearl River is the best start that any of these players have had since their time here at the Pearl. And this is their first time to really showcase their skills in front of a large audience tonight, so I expect them to come out very strong tonight against Ben Franklin.
So Pearl River looks to continue their winning ways, and the Falcons from Franklin try to get back on track tonight. You are in the Prep Zone. Pre-game here with Coach Mike Labradette of the Pearl River Rebels. Coach, you guys are off to an impressive 3-2 start. Talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing from this team so far this year.
The main thing we're seeing is just, a lot of confidence. That nobody have a question the work ethic of these kids, man. It's a blue collar community. They get after it, and we're just trying to create a positive attitude and get people to want to be at Pearl River High School. And we want everybody around here to know that this is a good place to be.
And tonight, you're playing an opponent in Ben Franklin that we don't see all that often on the North Shore. So just talk to us a little bit about what you think it's going to take for you guys to be successful tonight against Ben Franklin.
Well, just like any week, in order for us to be successful, our big guys up front have to do their job. We're a ground and pound team. It's going to be the same things against those guys from across the lake. I know Ben Franklin has played Pearl River in the past. That's kind of a little tradition. They played at least 4 or 5 times in the last 20 years or so. So it's a familiar opponent for some. Obviously, to the North Shore, it's someone that's new. But ultimately, it's just an opponent, and we tell our kids every day you play against yourself. We got to get better as individuals, and when we get better, good things will happen.
Down on the field here with Coach Scott of Ben Franklin. Coach, we haven't gotten a chance to see you guys play this year. You're coming down to Pearl River to take on the Rebels. Tell us a little bit about the makeup of your Franklin team this year.
Well, we got a small roster, so we don't have many kids on the team, but we do, come out and try hard and do the best we can with what we got. We got a few good guys, so like I said, we play hard and see what we can do.
And tonight against Pearl River, they've had some newfound success this year under first-year coach Mike Labradette. What's it going to take for you guys to be successful tonight against this Pearl River team?
Well, we got to play mistake-free, and like I said, we got to go hard at it. We got to have a 100% effort the whole time.
Ethan Martinson to kick us off from the Pearl. It is week 6 of the Prep Zone. Ben Franklin and Pearl River is underway. David Sentien fields it and will get up to the 26-yard line before being brought down. And that's where the Ben Franklin Falcons, who come in with a 1-4 record on the year, will start their first drive of the ball game. And Coach, before we get started, it is week 6 of the Prep Zone, and I have still not come close to wearing a jacket.
We're just getting out of the stages of the year where we have the automatic heat and humidity timeouts, but it's certainly not cold out here.
Jack Hale will quarterback the Falcons. Matthew Winfield dots the I. Handoff, Winfield met and will get a yard on the play to the 27-yard line. 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Zachary Follett stuck his nose in there to make the initial contact, and then they had a couple of Rebels in on the tackle. We're going to see a little bit of a feeling out process here by both of these teams. I know Coach Lab said that It's not a completely unfamiliar opponent for Pearl River, but it has been a couple years since these two teams have met each other.
Winfield dots the I again on 2nd and 9. Roll out on an option, cutting it up and getting to the 33-yard line was Jack Hale, and it is the first third down of the game as we take a look at the Ben Franklin offensive starters. Sentien, Crawford, Rick, Nicklaw, and Duncan are the wideouts. Scott, Winfield, Belanve, and Gonzalez, and then Hale, Cameron Nicholas, and Jerson Sanchez are the backs. Third down and about 7. One receiver out wide is Austin Hong. Roll out, pitch. Gets a block, 35 falling forward to the 39. Flag is down. It would have been a first down, but it will be a hold on the edge by number 27, Dante Scott. So that first down is negated, and Ben Franklin will have to play it over again.
Now you saw Winfield get outside there, and doesn't look like he has blazing speed, but he has long, smooth strides. He covered a lot of ground quickly there. It's deceiving, I think, how fluidly he ran. Would have had just enough for a first down.
So they're going to push this ball back to the 21, and it will be 3rd down and 15 for Ben Franklin. Not a prolific passing offense from the Falcons, but we're going to see a pass here as they'll line up with 4 wide, 2 to each side. Drop back, rolling far side, taking a shot. And this one is well over the head of David Sentien as that throw from Jack Hale went awry. And it was a 3 and out for Ben Franklin as we're going to see the first punt of the game. And Al Doth, the junior, 6'3", 195 pounds, is back deep to receive the punt.
You know, and Hale rushed that throw a little bit, and he had very good protection from his offensive line. It didn't look like Pearl River was pinning their ears back right there. It looked like they were playing it safe. I think Hale had a little bit more time than he thought to try and let that play develop.
Sentien is on to punt. Easily gets this one away, and it's a really nice punt. And it'll head out of bounds inside the 40 at the 37-yard line. So great way to flip the field by Sentien. And that's where Pearl River starts.
You know these teams do get film on each other. They do a little bit of scouting on one another. Dolph was at midfield right there, and that ball was punted from the line of scrimmage was the 24. So that was very shallow to be fielding that punt, and it did sail over his head. If he'd have been 10 yards deeper, he'd have been able to attack that ball coming up running and maybe be able to turn that into some positive yards on the return.
Freshman quarterback Justin Dean quarterbacks the Rebels as on first down, it is handed off to Jace Littleton, who is hit hard by Devon Duncan. Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9.
Pearl River's had success in their running game this year, particularly with Littleton. Expect to see a steady dose of him all night long.
Wilford in motion, they hand it to Wilford. Looking for room and tackled at the 45-yard line by a host of Falcons, and it's 3rd down.
Now we've gotten to see both of these quality running backs on 2 consecutive plays here by Pearl River. Littleton is the downhill runner for them, and Wilford is a little bit more of the upright athlete.
3rd down and 4. They try to jump Franklin off sides, and it almost worked. Dean comes back under center. To run for a first down across midfield to the 48-yard line. First down, Pearl River. Number 28, Jace Littleton on the carry.
Like what I see from Pearl River so far, establishing the running game, sticking to what they do best. And they showed some discipline on that 3rd down play where Franklin jumped and got back. Pearl River took their time, got the right play call in.
Wilford on the end around, has room! Dragging defenders, it is off! One man 17-yard line. What a run by Ladarius Wilford.
Yeah, and you and I were talking a little bit before the start of the game. Wilford is an athlete for this team. He also plays basketball. He's the kind of kid where you see him play basketball and you're the football coach, you run out there and ask him to play football. You see him play football, if you're the basketball coach, you run out there and ask him to play basketball.
Handoff up the middle, looking for room, and that time there is nothing there for Littleton. 2nd and 10.
But it's important for them to continue to mix it up with Littleton and with Wilford. That's what's going to give each one of these backs some room to operate and some success. We see 2nd and long here.
Pearl River, after coming out very briskly on offense, slowing down the tempo in the Ben Franklin red zone. End around, it's gonna work for a touchdown! The fake to Wilford worked perfectly to open up Jace Littleton for the touchdown from 17 yards out, and the Rebels strike first. And that was Matthew Ellenson on the carry that time, who checked in for Littleton. 1 carry, 1 touchdown for him. Pearl River's on the board.
Yep, that's the balance we talked about, keeping them on their toes right there. You go nothing but Littleton and Wilford all the way down the field, and then in the red zone, they give to Elsenson right there. Good play call.
John Cook Moulon on for the extra point, and it is good. 7:53 to go first quarter. The Rebels strike first. It's Pearl River 7 and Ben Franklin nothing. Gabe Danton to get us back underway. Sentien fields it at the 15. And there is not much blocking from the Falcons. A return of just 12 yards. And again, the Falcons start deep in their own territory, and there is an injured Ben Franklin Falcon down. And we'll take a break. 7:46 to go first quarter. Pearl River 7 and Ben Franklin nothing. Welcome back to the Pearl. David said NCN able to jog off the field under his own power. It looks like he'll be able to return to the game shortly, as it's the first look at a spread formation with a man in the backfield for Ben Franklin. And they run it near side, and there's not much there as they went student body left but ran to the right that time. Not much there as the Pearl River defense swarmed.
Yeah, well, it's clear here that Jack Hale is probably their best athlete on the offensive side of the ball, and it looks like Coach Scott is going to mix in a couple of different things to try and get him into the open field to make plays. Picked up 6 yards right there, gives them the best 2nd down situation they faced thus far. I wouldn't be surprised to see him sprint out Heil again right here, give an opportunity to throw, but really with an option to run.
Dante Scott in motion. They hand it to Scott, and this play is blown dead. And it's going to be a false start against the Falcons. So 2 penalties on 2 drives, really hurting Ben Franklin early.
Yeah, you know, Franklin is going to do, like Coach Scott said, a couple of things on offense. They don't have a very complicated playbook. So when you take that kind of approach, one of the things you have to do is you have to be disciplined. You have to execute. If you're not going to run a whole lot of complicated things on offense, you better be real good at what you're doing. And jumping off sides is certainly not in the playbook for Coach Scott.
Run far side. Blockers ahead. Hale cuts it up. And he's got a first down at the 39-yard line. The first down for Ben Franklin tonight. Great blocking on the edge that time.
So, yeah, there we saw again. Give Hale some room, run him to the far side of the field, the wide side, and give him an opportunity to do something with his feet. Designed run right there for Hale.
First down, Hale in the shotgun. 3 receivers, bunch near side. They run it near side. Spin move. Across the 45 to the 46-yard line, and the Falcons are finding success with the quarterback run.
Well, John, one of the things you mentioned to me as we were looking over these rosters is that they didn't list anybody in their backfield as a quarterback, and I think the reason is they got a bunch of running backs. I think Jack Hale is a pretty good running back, and because he's probably the best athlete on this side of the ball for the Falcons, he plays quarterback. We're going to see a lot of him moving with his feet tonight.
Trips near side, one far. This time it's a read option, and it was read perfectly by Pearl River. 7 Rebels there to make the stop. And it is 2nd and long.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we've talked a couple of times this year about the read option, and we've talked about most of the time teams are not actually reading it. It's a predetermined play call. There was some hesitation on Heil's part on that exchange, and what that tells me is he is reading or trying to read the defense. So let's see how that plays out for the rest of tonight.
3rd down, they'll run it. Hale cuts it up, and he's got a 1st down! Into Pearl River territory at the 43-yard line.
Nice job of running right there by Hale. Well, Franklin, it's no secret, has figured out what is their best option right here, and that's Jack Hale. Expect to see the Pearl River defense keying in on him a little bit more closely here as we progress.
1st down and 10. Read option, and this time nowhere to go, as that time Hale keeping himself.
Yeah, and it looked like that time basically the opposite of what I was just saying. Is didn't look like there was an actual read there. It was the read option, as you said, but Hale pulled very quickly. There was no real attempt at an exchange or a read right there.
2nd and 8. Hale run near side. He's got room, but it closes up quickly. The ball is loose, and that should be called down. No one has fallen on it yet. Falcons say they have it. Rebels say they have it.
Look, that's ruled a live ball, and I guess at home when you're watching, you'll see the replay and be able to tell, but it certainly looked like not even close from up here in live time. Hale popped the ball out when he was slammed to the ground. His elbow hit the ground. It was looked like what was a ground-caused fumble, but nonetheless, positive yards for the Falcons here.
It might work out better for Ben Franklin that it was a fumble, as they gained 2 yards after the ball squirted out, as David Sentien checks back into the game.
Well, let's see if go ahead, John.
It's another 3rd down, and they've converted 2 of them on the drive. 4:20 to go, 1st quarter. Pearl River 7, Ben Franklin nothing. As a flag comes in, it's a delay of game on the Falcons, and another penalty puts Ben Franklin into a passing situation.
That'll be interesting to see what the play call is. I was going to say, let's see if they go with that bunch formation again. What they've done thus far is when they've bunched 3 receivers to one side, they've run Heil behind those 3 receivers, and they've had some pretty good success. I was anticipating seeing that formation to the wide side of the field on that previous play. Now in a passing situation.
They line up in the eye. Pitch play is fumbled and fallen on at the Franklin 48. As that was 34, Matthew Winfield, who could not handle the pitch, and a promising drive will sputter out for the Falcons.
And you wonder what that play call was right there, John, because that was very wide and slow developing by Winfield in the backfield. I have a suspicion that may have been a halfback pass play right there that did not have a chance to develop. And we see Dalton still short again on this punting situation, a little bit further back.
High snap. Sentien gets it off. Doth has a chance at this one, and is tackled immediately on a great play by Dante Scott.
So again, we see Dolph at right about 25 yards deep from the line of scrimmage and had to move laterally to go field that. If he's 5 yards deeper, he's coming in full head of steam. I definitely expect that to be addressed on the next punting situation for Franklin punting the ball away to Pearl River. I expect to see Dolph a little bit deeper. Not much, just a little bit.
It's a much longer field for the Rebels on their second drive. 80-yard field in front of them. First down, flag flies. As instead it will be a timeout before the delay of game. Pearl River's first with 3:17 to go in the first quarter. It's the Rebels 7 and the Falcons nothing. Out of the timeout, it's 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Handoff up the middle to Jace Littleton, gets about 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
Well, we're going to see if the play call changes up a little bit here for Pearl River, as Wilford is on the sideline getting taped. Well, they were taping his wrist, and now they have taken the tape off. Looks like they're trying to reapply here. And he's been part of that 1-2 punch for Pearl River so far.
This time it's an end around. It is blown up! The handoff was to Matthew Ellenson, and there was nowhere to go as the Franklin defense played very well on the edge.
So you see Pearl River's trying to stick with that play call, still mixing it up. But not the same results as when you had Wilford in the game.
Justin Dean will break the huddle on 3rd and 7. Rebels need the 30. Ellenson in motion, roll near side. Dean is going to take off and run. Cuts it back and he will be dropped. A 3-and-out for Pearl River as the Ben Franklin defense makes their first stop of the night.
Yeah, you saw on that play right there, Dean was sprinting out to his left, and there was only one receiver over here, that was Doth, and he really did not get any separation from the corner on that play. So Dean decided to take it and run, and just wasn't able to pick up enough yardage for the first down there.
Gabe Danton is on to punt, and David Sentien is back deep to receive. Very, very deep at his own 35. Danton gets this one away, and it will take a slight Rebel bounce. But Ben Franklin will have possession in Pearl River territory at the 48-yard line.
So we see Pearl River not deep enough on punt situations, and we see Ben Franklin give Pearl River about 20 yards. Too much respect on that punting situation.
1:09 to go first quarter, 7-0 Pearl River over Ben Franklin as the Falcons come out for their 3rd offensive series. I formation, handoff up the middle to the 45-yard line. Goes Matthew Winfield. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
So we said earlier when Winfield carried, he actually moves pretty quickly. He's got those long, smooth strides, but he runs very up and down. So he's a big target. And he just took a pretty big hit right there on 1st down from the Rebel defense.
I formation yet again, and Winfield dots it. Handoff Winfield. Pushing the pile. He's going to be about a yard shy, make it 2 of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 2, and that might do it for the first quarter as we're down to 20 seconds.
Corey Savell led the defensive line attack right there for the Rebels.
Does not look like the Falcons are going to take another snap as they'll head to the sideline, and that'll do it for the first quarter from the Pearl. The score at the end of 1 is the Pearl River Rebels 7 and the Ben Franklin Falcons, nothing.
St. Tammany Parish Public Schools, an A-rated school district. Graduates with the highest ACT scores in the state. Facilities with the latest technology. Safe and secure schools. A variety of sports. Fine arts. And learning to last a lifetime.
I'm Superintendent Trey Foles, and this is where we educate every child, every day.
It is 3rd and 3 as we start the second quarter. Handoff up the middle, first down, breaking a tackle, foot race to the end zone! Touchdown! Touchdown, Ben Franklin! Touchdown, Matthew Winfield, who outran the entire Pearl River defense.
Well, we just finished saying he's deceivingly fast. He was having trouble breaking through those first couple of tackles on his previous carries, and that time he was able to get out of that initial contact, and once he got outside, he was off to the races, showed some speed there, outrunning the Rebel secondary.
Ben Franklin will attempt the extra point with Jerson Sanchez kicking. Snap, hold, kick is good. Big kick there to tie the game up as Ben Franklin answers. 11:50 goes, second quarter. It is Pearl River 7 and Ben Franklin 7. Matthew Winfield will kick off for Ben Franklin. Here we go. This ball angling towards the sideline, and it will be fielded, and falling down was, I believe, Jace Littleton, and it was. Big mistake there from the senior, who should have let that ball go out of bounds. Instead, Pearl River will start deep in their own territory at the 20.
Yeah, you know, that ball was certainly angling towards going out of bounds for sure, and I think Littleton probably looked up and saw a whole lot of open field in front of him and felt like he could turn it into a positive play, and he never really got his footing under him.
First down and 10 from the 20. Dean under center. Handoff, plenty of room to the sideline. Spin move, first down. Pearl River as Littleton redeems himself that time with a gain of 12.
Yeah, it's a nice job right there by a determined Jace Littleton to get those yards back that they probably would have picked up had he not lost his footing.
Dean looks to the sideline for the play. Handoff Littleton again, looking for room, cutting it up, showing a nice burst is Jace Littleton on that gain of 8.
You may see Littleton start to get even more carries than he normally does, and he normally gets a lot, but Ladarius Wilford is on the sideline, arm is taped up, but he is seated without a helmet right now, and he is, again, part of that 1-2 punch that we expected to see a lot of tonight.
Jacob Gudeman has taken Wilford's place, but has not seen a carry yet. Franklin shows blitz, they come with it, and it does not work. Lowering the shoulder is Gudeman for a first down.
Well, I tell you, the sign of a good football team is when one of your top players goes down, do you have somebody who can step in immediately and fill that void? Doesn't have to produce the same way, but do they know the play calls? Do they know the right situations and where they're going to get their number called, and can they respond? And that's what Pearl River's doing thus far.
Pearl River started the game with a fast tempo. They have slowed it down mightily since. It's another blitz from Franklin. And this time it is broken open! Foot race with Littleton. Tackled at the 30-yard line. The blitz has not worked for Ben Franklin lately, as Littleton has broken it numerous times.
Yeah, Littleton's fun to watch. He's a 5'7", compact young man. When he hits that hole, he explodes with a burst of speed. He was very close to breaking that one all the way.
Clock runs, 10:07 to go, second quarter. Handoff Littleton again. Finally tackled for a short gain. As Pearl River, we saw them warming up pregame. If Ben Franklin can hold them here, not a great kicking game from the Rebels. 2nd down and 5.
We expect to maybe see another give to Elsonson here. We saw him in the red zone for the touchdown earlier in the game. That would help mix things up a little bit.
Instead, it's Gudeman, who is tackled after a gain of 1. Nice contained by the Franklin linebackers, as that was Dante Scott on the tackle. And it is 3rd down and 4.
Continuing to share the ball here. The Rebels on 3rd down, though. I'm expecting to see 28 get it in his hands here.
Handoff Elsonson, and it is blown up. Pearl River tried to counter, and Franklin countered with 4 of their defensive players for a loss, and it is 4th down and 5.
Yeah, and sometimes you just outthink yourself. That's the same play that they scored the touchdown on in the first quarter. After Littleton brought them down the field, they gave it on that counter to Elsonson, and he took it in for 6. This time they tried the same strategy, and Franklin was having none of it.
It would be a 34-yard field goal. Instead, Coach Labradette is opting to stay on the field. We have not seen a Pearl River pass. We may see the first one here. And we will. Throwing to the end zone. Incomplete. Diving effort from Al Doth as Justin Dean's pass went too long that time, and the Franklin defense holds deep in their territory.
Well, you know, we talked last week when we watched Jules Sumner late in the game fall behind, and they had to turn to their passing game, and they were an option team, and it's just not the strength of their offense. It's a little bit of the same situation right now with Pearl River. Justin Dean is going to be a very good high school quarterback, but right now he is a young freshman, and their bread and butter is running the football, and 3rd and long is not, or 4th and long is not the situation you want to be in no matter what.
Hale on the run. He's got room, lowering the shoulder, and that hole closed very quickly, as it was a nice stop on the edge that time from number 22, Cameron Hart. And if he didn't make the stop and get off his man, Hale would have had a huge gain that time.
Yeah, that was a real nice play. Open field tackle by Hart, and great pursuit by the rest of the Rebel defense to finish Hale off on that keep.
Hale this time will line up under center with Matthew Winfield in the backfield. This is Winfield. Great vision, spinning out of a tackle up to the 25-yard line. It was a gain of 4, but it was almost a loss. But Winfield showed great vision, finding the hole and picking up 4, but it is still 3rd down for Ben Franklin.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see as this game wears on. We see Winfield and we see Heil and Nicholas playing on both sides of the ball. That burst of speed that we saw earlier from Heil and from Winfield, you got to wonder if they're going to be able to maintain that as the game wears on here, playing both ways.
I formation on 3rd down. Winfield dots it. Read option, and the ball is loose! Pearl River says they have it, and they do! A huge turnover from the Ben Franklin offense. That's the 2nd time Matthew Winfield couldn't handle a pitch, and the Rebels take over at the Franklin 20-yard line.
Look, your pitch relation is very key when you're going to run that kind of an option play right there. And we just finished talking about some of the fatigue, and that's one of the first things that goes is those small little details that you take for granted. and where you are in relation to your quarterback when you run that kind of play. It forces him to make a pitch that he's not comfortable with, and there you are deep in your own territory pitching the ball. That's one of the risks you take right there. Rebels are back in business.
Falcons with their backs against the wall. Dean will hand off, end around, lots of room. Cutting it up to the 10-yard line. The ball is loose! And Franklin says they have it! And they do! Wow! Elsenson had a huge gain of 10, but fumbled the ball late, and Ben Franklin gives the ball away and gets it right back.
Well, and you got to wonder, I'm sure you'll be seeing it at home on the replay, Elsenson did a great job on that to transfer the ball to his right outside hand. He was protecting the ball, doing everything he was supposed to do. The ball must have gotten popped by a helmet or something on the way down to pop it loose, because he was certainly cognizant of ball protection right there on that run. It's just the way it happens sometimes. You get popped in that right spot, ball comes loose.
Handoff up the middle is going nowhere as the tackle was made by Zachary Follett and a host of Rebels. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
So we'll see if Franklin can regain some of that pop they had earlier on. They're much deeper in their own territory now. That pitch fumble that they had dropped back about 10 yards, and then even though Elsenson fumbled, he did pick up 10 prior to giving up the ball.
2 receivers to each side this time as Franklin calls a timeout with the play clock winding down. 5:54 to go before halftime. Tied game here from the Pearl. It's Rebels 7 and Falcons 7. 2nd down and 10. Out of the timeout, 1 remaining for each team with just under 6 minutes to go before halftime. Play action, rolling far side. Hale looking for Dante Scott, will take off and run and will be tackled out of bounds after a short gain, as that play was supposed to open up for Dante Scott, who lined up at tight end that time, just didn't open up. Great contain by Pearl River, and it is 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to try and force the ball initially there to Scott, which it wouldn't have been a terrible decision if he'd have forced it near the sideline. But he's had success, that is Heil, running the ball tonight, so he was probably thinking the safer thing right there, given the recent turnover, would be to keep and try and pick up positive yardage that way.
Some confusion offensively as Dante Scott will run to the far side. I formation, play action, throw. Oh, he's got a man open and he missed it. David Sentien was open as Billy Crawford could not locate the football, but he was in the right place at the right time, shielding Sentien from the football on a pretty nice throw from Hale, and it is a 3 and out and 4th down.
Yeah, Crawford had nice coverage on the play. He just got turned around and didn't realize where the ball was. Coverage was good enough to cause enough of a hindrance that they were not able to complete that pass.
Another high snap, pressure coming. Sentien gets it off, and he shanked it. Great field position for Pearl River as they'll mark the ball at the 29-yard line. The pressure forced a quick punt from Sentien. And Pearl River, for the 2nd straight drive, will have great field position. Now it's up to the Rebels to make the most of it.
Yeah, Rebels had Franklin pinned back deep in their territory, so they went after that punt. And even though they didn't get after it, as you said, the pressure caused a little bit of a rush there for the Falcons.
Dean under center. Handoff. Oh, Dean keeps it himself, as it was a great fake to Littleton, and Dean picked up 8 on the play.
Yeah, just as I was about to say, I think we're going to see Dean carry a little bit more since Ladarius Wilford has not returned to the game. We see number 1, Ladarius Wilford, jogging back out on into the huddle for Pearl River. I'm going to expect some good results here now that they've got that 1-2 punch back together.
Inside 5 minutes to go before halftime. Littleton, first carry since the injury, is going nowhere. And you got to give the Falcons credit. They, besides that first drive, have really contained this, may I say, confusing system offensively for Pearl River, as you never know where that ball is going to go. You have to show great contain.
Yeah, you know, it's not a bad call giving the ball to Wilford right away. Just as he gets back on the field, you figure he probably run a couple of plays and give him a few snaps to get his feet back underneath him, but you go to him right away. He looked a little bit hesitant right there on that handoff. He didn't have the same explosion that he had earlier in the game when he had the ball in his hands.
3rd down and 4. Dean up the middle is stopped short on the gain by Littleton. It'll be a yard and a half shy of the first down, and you know that Coach Labradette is going to go for it here.
Yeah, he's going to go for it, and what he does have going in his favor now is with Wilford back in the game, they gave to Wilford as soon as he got back in the game, and they went right back to Littleton. So on the 2 previous plays, you've given the ball back to each one of those running backs, and that is going to put at least a question mark in Ben Franklin's defensive minds as to where the ball is going again. It's not as predictable. You know, it might not necessarily be Littleton right here.
Instead, it's an end around, and it's blown up! Dante Scott made the tackle on Ethan Martinson. And again, Pearl River, with great field position, gets no points for the 2nd straight drive.
Well, and you saw the Rebels there go to Martinson, who hasn't had a carry yet tonight. So again, keeping the Rebels off balance, but it didn't matter as you had a great individual effort right there by the Falcons on defense to blow that play up. But aside from the big run by Winfield, we have not seen much success from this Falcon offense once they've gotten the ball in their hands.
Handoff up the middle is Winfield again. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And I talked about it pregame. The defense needs to step up as they've allowed 50-plus points in 2 of their last 4 ball games. But they're stepping up early, and we're almost at halftime, only 7 points allowed.
Yeah, they've definitely tightened it up a bit on the defensive side for the Falcons here. See, they're attacking the ball. One of the things Coach Scott talked about pregame was how hard his guys played, and they are playing hard right now on both sides of the ball. They're getting after it. It's not easy to get after it on defense when you're taking snaps on offense as well.
Cutting it up is Heil to the 32-yard line. It's another 3rd down, as it seems just about every series Ben Franklin is getting into these 3rd downs, but on the touchdown series, they converted many of them.
Yeah, they did, and we haven't seen that many hard counts here from Franklin on offense, and this would be a good time for that, as it is 3rd and 6, maybe even 7. Give them a more manageable 3rd down situation for a team that does not love to throw the football.
And they'll run power to the far side. Got room is Hale down the sideline and out of bounds at midfield.
Well, I talked about earlier when they line up in that bunch formation with 3 receivers in tight right there, that they were running Hale behind that, and that's exactly what you saw them do right there. So until they show anything differently out of it, you got to expect that the Rebels are going to become more and more aware of that, of Hale keeping and running behind those receivers in that bunch formation. As we see it again right here, let's see if they'll mix it up this time.
Shotgun formation this time. Handoff is blown up in the backfield. carry went to Cameron Nicholas. His first attempt of the night goes for a loss. And we're down to 90 seconds to go before halftime. Pearl River will receive the second half kickoff. So after that play, you most likely will see a very conservative play call from Ben Franklin as they look to get out of the half, tied at 7.
Yeah, because you're also not really seeing much of a sense of urgency here from the Falcons with a minute left.
Another run. Winfield has room, lowering the shoulder, and Winfield has shown that he is a very tough man to bring down as the clock has stopped. As it looks as if Ben Franklin has called a timeout with 57 seconds to go before halftime. 7-7, Pearl River and Ben Franklin. .57 seconds to go before halftime. 3rd and 7 for the Falcons. Shotgun formation, power right. They run it right. Cut up is Hale to the 44-yard line, shy of the first down, and the clock rolls.
Clock's still ticking, and it's 4th down for the Rebels. I think you're going to see them take their time right here. So if they do not pick up this first down, they won't give the Rebels a whole lot of time, although they are quick to the line here.
Down to 24 seconds. 4th down. Handoff. Winfield is stopped short. And they'll stop the clock with 17 seconds to play. So now Coach Labradette will put the ball in the hands of Justin Dean.
Yeah, I don't expect to see anything really overly creative right here from Coach Labradette. Now, as I say that, I was going to say you got Winfield and those bigger athletes for Ben Franklin who play on defense. They have checked out of the game. So if he did have eyes on taking a shot downfield to number 2 Doth, this would be an ideal time to give it a shot.
Instead, they'll run it. And it goes nowhere. Tackle made by Dante Scott, who has had a great defensive first half. And the clock will roll to 0. And that'll do it for the first 24 minutes from Pearl River High School. We've got a good one, folks, so you better stay tuned. At the half, it is Pearl River 7 and Ben Franklin 7. Start of the second half from Pearl River, tied at 7. Ben Franklin to kick off. We're back underway. Ball is fielded, and there's some running room. And this is going to get into Ben Franklin territory as you see the speed again. Jace Littleton continues his strong performance tonight as he went 0 to 60 pretty quick there.
Yeah, that was a great run by Littleton. Great job of getting behind the wall, letting the play develop right there. And, you know, that's one of the things you look for with the new coaching staff, with the team that's on the rise, is you look at special teams. That was a great kickoff return by all 11 guys on special teams right there by Pearl River. Very nicely done.
1st and 10 from the Franklin 44. Handoff up the middle. And again, Dante Scott with another tackle on the carry from Matthew Ellenson.
Yeah, you see Littleton getting a little bit of a break right now with Ellenson and Wilford back out there.
Second down at 6. I formation, handoff Ellenson, breaking a tackle, falling forward for a gain of 3, and it is another 3rd down for Pearl River.
I think these first couple of minutes here of the 3rd quarter are going to be key for a couple of reasons. I just think momentum in general is going to be established by one of these ball clubs. And as we get longer into the game, further into the second half, again, we've been talking about some of these players going both ways, although we've seen that load lightened a lot for Franklin. They're playing a few more guys on defense.
3rd down and 4. Ellenson in motion. Handoff up the middle to Littleton, falling forward at the sticks. If he's short by inches.
It does look like they're going to mark him just shy. I mean, just shy. We obviously have no doubt that Pearl River's going to go for it here.
Rebels are quick up to the line. Littleton in the backfield. They'll sneak it with Dean. And Dean on the second effort gets the first down.
Again, execution right there. That's one of the things you look for. That's a situational play right there that you work on every week in practice on a third or fourth and very short, getting to the line quickly. There's no secret about the play call. Everybody on both sides knows what's coming. Rebels done a nice job right there executing.
First down and 10. Elsenson in motion. Hand off to Littleton up the gut. Gain of 6 on the play. And now Pearl River, their first drive of the first half, they really ran the ball well. Now it's the first drive of the second half, and they're doing it again.
Absolutely, and you see that quickened pace that you had talked about earlier, John, that they came out to start the game with. They slowed down as the half progressed. They're moving a little bit more quickly here again to start off the second half, as you're likely seeing somewhat of a scripted drive right here as well.
Second down and 5. Handoff on the end around, looking for room, cutting it up, first down and more to the end zone. Ladarius Wilford, touchdown, Pearl River.
And there you see the athlete back into the game, and he hadn't gotten a carry here yet in the second half. It was Elsenson and Littleton, boom, 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 inside, 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 doing the heavy work, and then boom, Wilford breaks one on the edge right there. And he just showed us why he is so important to the balance of this Pearl River offense.
John Cook Moulin on for the PAT. Snap, hold, kick. Line drive, splits the uprights. 9:18 to go, third quarter. Pearl River regains the lead. It's Pearl River 14 and Ben Franklin 7. Ethan Martinson angles this one towards the sideline, and it's fielded. 30, and hit hard is Jose Gonzalez, who got his first touch of the game and paid for it heavily. But Ben Franklin starts in pretty decent field position at their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, that was Brendan Sheremy, 5'9", 185-pound senior with the initial contact there, and he brought a little bang right there.
So Ben Franklin comes out for their first offensive drive of the second half. And this is usually where we'll start to see some fatigue. As Coach, we were just talking about during the break, not even every Falcon on the roster has made the trip tonight to Pearl River.
Yeah, we were just talking and getting a quick count on the sideline over there. It only looks like 8 guys dressed out on that sideline. So my quick math tells me 19 total bodies out there for Franklin. And there's 5 or 6 of those bodies that have come off the field very rarely.
Second down and 8. Handoff, room, and tackled hard. Oh, and he's down, and that was Matthew Winfield, who's been a tour de force offensively for Ben Franklin. We'll take a break. 8:15 to go with the third quarter, and it is Pearl River 14 and Ben Franklin 7. Matthew Winfield able to walk off the field under his own power. It is third down and 5 for Franklin. And they get Pearl River to jump off sides. And depending on how long those 5 yards were, it'll be a Franklin first down.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be enough for a first down right here. And that's not what you want to see if you're Pearl River right now, because you've got Winfield out of the game. And that, I promise you, was an intentional attempt to buy some time to get him back on the field as quickly as possible, because this offense is nowhere near as effective with Winfield on the sideline.
It is a first down for Ben Franklin. Cameron Nicholas will dot the I in the backfield. Play action throw. Hale over the middle. What a catch! What a catch! big catch of the year thus far from David St. Etienne. Wow, what a catch. First down, Ben Franklin.
And that was a fantastic effort right there by Etienne. And I'm going to tell you, when he let go of the ball, my first thought was, he's not open. He's had 3 guys around him. He wasn't open. He did have 3 guys around him, and he still got that hand up there. I mean, a fantastic one-handed grab. So we just talked about momentum being a big part of this early part of the third quarter. That's huge right there for this Franklin team.
Play action again, and now it'll be a run. Hale breaks a few tackles, gets to the 32-yard line. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Seven minutes to go, third quarter. Pearl River regained the lead, but Ben Franklin is driving, looking to tie the game up.
And you see Winfield is now checked back into the game as well, so that opens up the playbook a little bit more here for the Falcons.
Give it off to Winfield. He busted outside. And on the sideline to the 16 on a play that looked very similar to the touchdown run earlier.
Absolutely. And, you know, we've seen both running backs on either side of the field here with Wilford and Winfield get banged up. And upon re-entry into the game, these coaching staffs have showed no hesitancy to put the ball back in their workhorses' hands. And it's yielded results for both these teams thus far.
First down and 10 from the 17. Hale in the gun. Rolling right, and it's a run. Cutting it up. Makes a man miss. He's still on his feet. And will be tackled at the 11-yard line. Hale showed good elusiveness that time and was eventually taken down by Brendan Sheremy.
Yeah, and it was Sheremy earlier in the game with a couple nice tackles as well. And we saw that bunch formation again, and Hale running behind it. He was not able to get outside of it. That was what he was initially looking, was to try and get to the sideline there. That closed up, cut back, looked like he was going to be taken down for a loss, but he's an athletic young man.
Winfield dots the I. He gets the handoff up the middle, and Pearl River answers the call this time. And it is 3rd down and 6 for Ben Franklin.
So 3rd and 6 is where we're going to start to see here in the red zone some of that fatigue that we started talking about. As Franklin will try and punch it forward.
You don't assume that Ben Franklin would attempt a field goal, so it's basically you have 2 plays to get the 6 yards. Shotgun formation, and Nicholas is in the backfield. Hale will run near side, lowering the shoulder, and he did not get there.
Yeah, he didn't get there. He's going to be just short, but again, we saw that bunch formation to the near side here, and Hale running behind it.
4th down and 1 in what is the play of the game thus far, as Pearl River looks to hang on to their 7-point lead in the 3rd quarter.
There's that bunch formation. This time, Hale's not in the shotgun.
Hale under center. They'll sneak it. And Hale has the first down. Pearl River saying that they stopped it short. And we will most likely see a measurement.
It's going to be close. It's 4th and a long 2. Hales is over 6 feet tall. He certainly fell all the way forward, so he's going to get close to it just by the push he was able to make.
Going to see a close-up here as the chains are still on the sideline. And what a call this will be.
So, folks, let's see if we can lean this way just a little bit.
And now the chains will come out.
You can close your eyes and listen to the Pearl River crowd right now to get your answer.
And it is short. Wow. No, first down. First down. Got my directions messed up that time. First down, Ben Franklin. Well over a yard.
And you heard silence from the crowd over here as they saw what we saw. Franklin able to pick that up, so it'll be first and goal for Ben Franklin.
From the 6-yard line.
Come on, Rebels, you know what? You can't cheer if you're on your rear. Here
Hale
we
in the
go,
gun.
folks. Come on, some defensive help right here. Come on, guys.
Hale will keep it himself. Quarterback power to the 5.
Yeah, there's that familiar formation there from Franklin, but this time Hale just takes it straight forward, which I'm a little bit surprised to see because he did have the wide side of the field over there to work with, only 6 yards to go. I mean, just from his length and the speed that he's shown thus far, would have thought he would have had a better opportunity trying to get outside.
Winfield dots the I again. He gets the call. Bouncing it outside, a great tackle that saved a touchdown. Number 22, Cameron Hart, kept the Pearl River lead intact that time on a great tackle on the edge.
Yeah, Cameron Hart's having a big game. It was, it was good to see Winfield get up from that big shot he took earlier on this drive, and it was Cameron Hart who put that hurt on him earlier, and that was a great open field tackle by the 5'8", 150-pound junior Cameron Hart.
Third down and goal from the 5. Winfield in the backfield again. Roll, far side, foot race. Hale wins it initially, lower the shoulder at the goal line, and he's in! Touchdown, Ben Franklin! Touchdown, Jack Hale, and the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the ball game up.
Jack Hale's showing some grit right there from the quarterback position. Not only did he use his speed, but lowering his shoulder at the goal line. That's one of the things you love about high school football. Quarterbacks lowering their shoulder. You don't see them dive. You don't see them slide.
Jerson Sanchez on to tie the game. Oh, it's blocked! No good, wide right. Pearl River stays in front. 14-13, 2:45 to go third quarter. Pearl River and Ben Franklin. Matthew Winfield to kick off. Line drive kick is over the head of Littleton and will go into the end zone for a touchback. Pearl River will start at the 20. So if the trend continues, Coach, both defenses are going to step up their game, but Ben Franklin now down a point, needs another touchdown or field goal, but most likely a touchdown, as the kicking game has not been strong for the Falcons tonight, and it's what's hurting them right now, down by 1.
Yeah, and we're going to see in the second drive here of the second half for the Rebels if they can stay as consistent and sound as they were on that first one, because they looked real good coming out of halftime.
First down, counter is blown up. Nice tackle, and that might have saved a huge gain. Jack Hale on the tackle of Ladarius Wilford.
Yeah, you're right. It did save a huge gain. Wilford was a step away right there.
Hurry up offense, second down. Franklin shows blitz. Wilford in motion. He gets the carry again. Oh, and he tripped. He had a lot of green grass in front of him, but Wilford tripped, and it is third down. We'll call it 7.
Yeah, you just got tripped up right there. You had big number 56, Darius Revolta, for the Rebels, that pulling guard. He had a big block out in front for Wilford. He was clearing the path, and he was continuing to chug along downfield. Wilford had a lot of running room and a big blocker in front of him. He just got tripped up.
Wilford in motion again. Play action. Dean will cut it up and will be tackled behind the line by Jack Hale. Number 67, Israel Chanu, also on the stop. A 3-and-out for Pearl River, and Ben Franklin will get the ball back in pretty good field position, as it's the second Rebel punt of the night, and David St. Etienne is back to receive.
A little surprised we did not see number 28, Jace Littleton, touch the ball on that drive for the Rebels. Kicking game has been interesting, to say the least, on both sides of the ball so far tonight.
Punts away. Oh, and that's why St. Etienne was back so deep. And this takes a Rebel bounce, and talk about flipping the field, coach. Number 30, John Cook Moulin, put his right leg into that one, and it's a great punt. And Ben Franklin has a long field in front of them.
Yeah, it was a great kick. It was nearly a 60-yard punt right there.
.37 seconds to go, third quarter, as that's what these offenses do to you. They'll drain the clock, as this is only the second Ben Franklin offensive possession of the quarter.
And, you know, one of the things about both these offenses running the ball is we've talked a little bit about fatigue. We may not see that play as big of a factor because the clock has been rolling. I mean, we're only 90 minutes into real time here.
Winfield on the carry, and a great tackle, and there he is again. Cameron Hart with a perfect tackle on Matthew Winfield. And we're down to 20 seconds in the quarter. A gain of 7 on first down. The Falcons may get one more play off. Down to 5 seconds. Hale under center. They get it off with one. Handoff, Winfield cutting it up, and will be tackled at the 40-yard line, which is a yard shy of the first down. And we have a great finish on our hands from Pearl River, folks. You better stay with us. It is Pearl River 14 and Ben Franklin 13.
St. Tammany Parish Public Schools, an A-rated school district. Graduates with the highest ACT scores in the state. Facilities with the latest technology. Safe and secure schools. A variety of sports. Fine arts. And learning to last a lifetime.
I'm Superintendent Trey Foles, and this is where we educate every child, every day.
Start of the fourth quarter. Ben Franklin looking to regain the lead. 1st and 10. Jack Hale in the gun. Running near side, looking for a block. Cuts it up and gets a gain of 2 on the play. As aside from early in the first half, that power run outside from Hale has not gotten the big gains it got early.
No, it hasn't. I can tell you why, because Pearl River made a halftime adjustment. Number 13, the outside linebacker, Kenny Stewart, is refusing to let Hale get outside of him now. He's not worried about making the tackle. He is doing his job in contain and turning Hale back inside.
This is going to be a false start on the right side. David Sentien was lined up at tight end and left early. And that's the first penalty we've seen in quite a while, and it could prove costly for Ben Franklin.
Yeah, it's been a pretty cleanly played game by both of these teams, especially compared to some of the early season games that we've seen by really some bigger name programs that you would expect to play more penalty-free football. These two teams have done a pretty good job tonight.
So 2nd and 8 turns into 2nd and 13, and Ben Franklin is going to have to use a timeout as there was a lot of offensive confusion. 11:18 to go in this one. It is Pearl River 14 and Ben Franklin 13. 2nd down and 10. Well, that's what the scoreboard reads. It is 2nd and 13 for Ben Franklin. I formation. Play action. A throw. Over the middle. It's intercepted. Read the whole way. Zeke Marquise. It was read the whole way. And Jack Hale straight up forced that one, Coach.
Yeah, he did. We've seen Hale make some good decisions tonight. And maybe that is the fatigue, quote unquote, that we will see from Hale this evening, because he physically has looked good. He's playing linebacker on defense for the majority of the game. He's been playing quarterback for every snap on offense. And, you know, we haven't seen him look physically tired, and we haven't seen him make a mistake. That's the first one of the night, but it could prove to be an extremely costly one.
11:11 to go. Handoff at the middle is, oh, what a great tackle. What a textbook tackle. Guess who? Dante Scott.
Dante Scott is having a whale of a football game on the defensive side of the ball right now.
It's 2nd and 11. We have not seen much of Jace Littleton in the second half. He's lined up in the backfield. And falling down in the backfield was the touchdown scorer, Matthew Elsonson.
Guess who won the tackle?
Dante Scott, Coach. And Pearl River has gone backwards, and it's 3rd and 13. Only one pass attempt tonight from the Rebels. We might be looking at the second one. Here it is, play action pass. Beautiful protection. Throw is caught! Short of the first down.
And the ball actually got knocked free right there. Elsonson looked like he had it. Good coverage and good contact right there by the Franklin defense to knock it loose. As I'm telling you, if he catches that ball, it's 4th and 3 or 4, and I think you're going to see Pearl River go for it. And now you're going to see the Rebels bring on the punt team.
David St. Etienne is back at his own 11-yard line.
We've seen the strong leg so far. See if he can pinpoint it.
High snap, punts away. High punt is going to take a bounce, and it's a beautiful Rebel bounce. Inside the 15 to the 13-yard line, and St. Etienne has just not felt comfortable about fielding a punt yet tonight, and it's cost his team every time, field position-wise, that is.
It has, and I think part of that is, you know, again, you do see film on these guys, but depending on the film that they got, you know, Pearl River's had some games where they've been very good on offense, and they probably sent some film where they didn't punt the ball very much. And their punting is a little bit inconsistent, so it's hard to judge exactly where to put that deep receiver. I mean, see, Pearl River's going to be taking another timeout. There's another personnel issue for the Rebels, and I can tell you right now, I don't have to look down there to see how unhappy Coach Labradette is having to burn a timeout in a close game.
He'll be very happy if his Rebels can get a stop here on defense. 9:51 to go in this one. It's Pearl River 14 and Ben Franklin 13. First down and 10 out of the timeout. Winfield dots the I for the Falcons. Handoff Winfield, looking for room, finds it up the middle, and is tackled by number 35, Brendan Sheremy.
And Winfield's had some spells now on the defensive side of the football. We saw him out there a little bit more consistently in the first half, and he has not been playing as much. So he looks a little bit fresher here in the second half of getting the football.
Handoff Winfield again. This time there is no room. Tackled at the line of scrimmage. It will be 3rd down and 5.
We'll see if they go back to the well one more time here, Franklin, that is, that bunch formation, and have Hale run behind it, although we have seen that it would appear the Rebels have made the adjustment on that play call here in the second half.
Third down. The Falcons need the 25. Speed option. And Hale is dropped. Gain of 1 on the play. That's not what the Falcons needed. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, you saw number 18, Zachary Follette, in the backfield right there. Not able to make the tackle on Heel, but he was able to slow him down, stop all of that momentum that Heel had built up. And then again, we see the pursuit of that Rebels defense finish the play off.
St. Etienne on to punt yet again. Gets this one away, and it's a line drive, and Pearl River is lucky that it did not hit a Rebel. As Jeremy went back near the football, and I bet Coach Labradette is not going to be pleased about that, but nonetheless, Pearl River will take over with 7:53 to go, looking to melt away the clock.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good thing that Pearl River didn't pick that ball up, because Dante Scott was right there ready to make a big hit.
First down, Dean's gonna throw. Deep down the sideline, got a man! Overthrew him. He overthrew Al Doth, who had a step on his man in St. Etienne. 2nd and 10. And that's the second time we've seen Dean overthrow Doth on a touchdown pass.
Yeah, again, you know, Dean's a young kid. You're going to see, 3 to 5 passing attempts per game in close games for Pearl River. But as he develops, I think over the next couple of years, you're going to see this offense open up a little bit for Coach Lab, and that's going to create some exciting opportunities.
End around. Looking to get the edge, and it is not there. Dante Scott and Devon Duncan took down Ethan Martinson as a flag is down. And this call could prove costly if it's against Ben Franklin, and that looks to be the indication. And it will go against Pearl River.
Yeah, number 63, Dalton Hoover, came in late to clean up that play. Offensive lineman for the Rebels. I think what he saw was a Falcon defender approaching to try and finish off Martinson there. And, on one hand, you appreciate he's taking care of his running back, his teammate right there, but it did prove to be costly.
3rd down and 27 for Pearl River. Wilford in motion. It's a pass from Dean. Down the sideline, he's got him open! First down and more down the sideline! Wilford got behind the Ben Franklin coverage, and that might be a backbreaker, Coach. You have Pearl River in 3rd and 27. It's a gain of 31 and a Rebel first down.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about these teams that we see that consistently run the football. When they're put in passing situations, they're not comfortable. That's not where Pearl River wants to be, but Ben Franklin's got to realize that, and their safeties need to be 15, 20 yards deep right there. Getting beat behind the safeties is inexcusable.
On first down, it's a gain of 6 as Jace Littleton finally gets the call.
What we did see was finally Dean connects on a long pass there, and it gives you a little bit of a glimpse of what has this Pearl River staff so excited about that young freshman is he does have the ability, when he sets his feet and takes his time, to throw a very nice deep ball.
Second down. Littleton one more time. Sidesteps a tackle, stiff arm, first down and out of bounds. Ball is loose! And it looks like Pearl River fell on it. And they did. So Littleton fumbles that time. Pearl River gets it back, and the Rebels are still in business at the Franklin 25-yard line.
Yeah, they got a little bit more pep in their step now with the momentum going in their way. They're quick to the line of scrimmage again.
They keep feeding Littleton. Littleton breaks a tackle and is brought to the ground into the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Yeah,
that clock continues to tick, just over 6 minutes to play.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. We see them go deep on the long third down play and connect, and then they're going back with the running game to try and bleed down this clock.
Franklin shows blitz. They do not jump off sides, and yes, they do. A late flag comes in. Franklin was in the neutral zone. It'll be near a first down, and they might have picked one up, did the Rebels.
And again, so what we're seeing here, we talked about some of the fatigue. I think the example that we're seeing of the fatigue showing up is mentally for this Franklin team. Letting a guy get behind you on a 3rd and 27 against a team that's not a strong passing team, jumping off sides for the first time in a while, but they had the false start as well on offense. So
1st and 10 from the 15.
Still a 1-point game, though.
Wilford in motion, handoff to him on the sweep, breaking a tackle, cutting against the grain, and will be brought down after a gain of 2.
I've continued to be impressed by a lot of the little things that I'm seeing from this Pearl River team on both sides of the football. Elsonson right there with a nice block. He really didn't get a great angle to set that block, but he didn't give up on it. Kept contact and gave Wilford a chance to cut up inside, try and make something happen on that play.
2nd and 9. Handoff on the sweep again. Still no room, and Dante Scott made another play as the end around to Martinson. They've tried it 3 times, and 3 times it has gone backwards.
Yeah, when Martinson's getting the football in his hands, the line of scrimmage is backing up on him as he comes across on that handoff, and it's forcing him to kind of bubble instead of being able to cut right outside the corner like he wants to do. And that extra step is all Dante Scott has needed all night long to blow up those plays.
3rd down and 12. Wilford in motion. Drop back, Dean to pass. Rolling, throwing end zone, and the receiver fell down and the flag flies. Wilford was tripped up, and it's going to be a first down for Pearl River.
Yeah, again, you see the playbook open up. That one big pass completion just builds up some confidence right there, not just for Dean, but for the coaching staff in Dean to make that play. And I'll tell you what, one of the things Dean's doing, although he's only had the one big connection, is he's long on those passes when he is off. And that's key because this is a tired Franklin team. They don't have guys deep. If he's going to miss, missing long is the way to go. It's safe. And probably a good thing that Franklin did trip up Wilford there because he was going to get to that football.
4:29 to go. First down. Handoff is stopped. Tackle made by Jack Hale on Jacob Gudeman. And they did not give Pearl River a first down on that pass interference. It's 4th down. So Pearl River will play a 4th and 5 with 4 minutes to play.
I'm not sure I understand that. Whether it would be pass interference or defensive holding, it should be an automatic first down.
Nonetheless, it is 4th down. Handoff up the middle, huge hole, Elsenson, first down. The seas parted that time for Matthew Elsenson, and Pearl River continues to bleed this clock. It is 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Elsenson dots the I. Handoff, Elsenson, tackled in the backfield.
Yeah, great push right there by the defensive line of the Falcons. They were at the exchange when the ball was put in Elsenson's hands. He was met immediately by several Falcons defenders. But that clock is still ticking.
You have to start to wonder, at what point does Ben Franklin start to call timeouts? Only 3 minutes to play, down 1 point. Dean under center. Handoff, Littleton to the end zone, touchdown! Touchdown, Jace Littleton. Touchdown, Pearl River. The Rebel lead is 7 with 2:49 to play.
Pearl River appears to be setting up to kick the extra point here.
So the game is not over yet for Ben Franklin, as if this extra point is good, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion will tie us up. Cook Moulin on for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick up, kick is good. The lead is now 8, and the pressure is on Ben Franklin. 2:49 to go. Game in the balance when we come back. Pearl River 21 and Ben Franklin 13. Ethan Martinson kicks this one away. Line drive is fielded at the 12. Cutting across the field and met by a host of Rebels was St. Etienne. Tackle made by number 8, Dylan Campbell.
Yeah, again, you see real nice pursuit. Everybody flying to the football right there. Campbell was the first one to get there, and number 25, Matthew Elston, came in on the back end to clean up the rest of that play. These Rebels bring the wood. And it's a lot of their small guys, John. It's these 5'7", 5'8" corner and running backs, and they pop when they get a chance.
2:42 to go. Hale keeps it himself as the seas part. And it is a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Ben Franklin needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the game up.
I'm going to tell you who I am keenly aware of right now if I am the Rebels on defense, and it's somebody who has done nothing on offense, but it's number 27, Dante Scott, in the waning moments here.
Handoff, plenty of running room. First down, Matthew Whitfield, who has been the unquestioned leader on offense for the Falcons. 2:09 to go. Clock stops after a first down.
Definitely, you're going to see a steady dose of Heel and Winfield. If the Falcons get put into a passing situation, I would be double, triple coverage on 27 because he has proved to be the athlete out there on defense.
I formation. Hale play action. Stepping up and throwing. Got a man and he missed him. Jose Gonzalez would have walked to the end zone, but Hale missed him by 4 yards.
Yeah, we talked
And
about it.
it looked like Hale was throwing a post,
Yes.
and Gonzalez ran an in route.
Yeah, and again, that's another one of those things you're going to see when you're not a prolific passing team and you have to turn to the passing game. You're going to see some mistakes like that. And actually, Gonzalez and Scott were both open on the play. Hale went for it all downfield.
2nd and 10. Hale keeps it himself. Running outside. He's got room. Needs a block. Gets it. First down the sideline and out of bounds. It looked like nothing was there, but Hale simply outran the Pearl River defense to the sideline, broke contain, and picked up a first down and a gain of 14.
Yeah, nice job by him getting out of bounds right there. He's able to get out of bounds. That still allows them to do the things that they're really successful at with 1:45 here left to go, and that is run the football.
Pearl River takes a timeout, and we'll talk things over defensively. 1:45 left. Pearl River 21 and Ben Franklin 13. First down and 10 at the 48-yard line. Hale will roll near side to throw. Got a man open. St. Etienne got it to the 46. And the clock rolls, and that's what's important. Flag down.
Well, the flag's going to stop the clock at least temporarily right here. As, you know, that's a nice design play right there. Good hookup between Heel and St. Etienne, but, you know, it's a 5-yard completion. And again, we've talked several times about the pursuit of this Pearl River defense, and that's what's important, is that several Rebels got to the football quickly and did not allow ATM. It wasn't about St. Etienne picking up more yards. It was about him getting out of bounds right there. That was a nice job.
You see the call is holding, so that play is negated, and it is a loss of 10 for Ben Franklin with just 1:34 to play. So the ball will be marked at the 38-yard line. Ben Franklin needs 62 yards in 1:34. Dante Scott will line up near side. Hale in the gun, Scott in motion. They give it off to Scott, and he's got room on the edge. Breaks a tackle to the original line of scrimmage. The ball is loose. Pearl River football!
Well, there it is. We were just talking about the danger of the ball getting into Scott's hands because of his ability as an athlete to probably make something happen. The issue is, we said it earlier, we didn't see his name get called on offense. It's the first touch, I believe, John, of the night for him on offense. Maybe he had one carry earlier in the game, but I think it may have been his first touch. That's a lot to ask, because you know what Scott's got on his mind, making something big happen for his team. And if you're playing defense all night, you're not concerned with ball security. You're concerned with stripping the ball and making plays. You need somebody who's ready to keep their hands tight on that ball in the fourth quarter.
We do not know how many timeouts Ben Franklin has, but they could get the ball back if they stop Pearl River from getting a first down, and there's a good start. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6, and the clock rolls. Ben Franklin now does call their first timeout. 1:14 to play. 2nd and 6 when we come back. Pearl River 21 and Ben Franklin 13. 2nd and 7. Pearl River that is not offsides from what it looked like to me. Looked like Ben Franklin got back before they lined up in the neutral zone, but that's why I'm not officiating. And Pearl River is a yard away from putting this football game on ice.
Yeah, that's costly right there. You know, Franklin's made some big plays. As you see a flag coming from the far sideline, that's likely going to be on the Franklin coaching staff.
It may just be a sideline warning, which would not cost Ben Franklin any yardage.
It may. It also could be, John, as a coach this week, 2 days ago, the LHSAA and the LHSOA Official Association sent out a memorandum to all high school head coaches warning that there would be a zero tolerance policy for language on the sidelines from now on. I wonder if perhaps they heard some inappropriate language. It does look like it was a sideline warning, but
Well, whatever the call was, it just ended Ben Franklin's hopes of a victory tonight in Pearl River, as it's a first down. And the Falcons, I believe, are down to 1 timeout. They only have 2 at the most.
yeah, we know what we're going to see right here from the Rebels.
Handoff, Chase Littleton. Breaks it open, makes a man miss, makes another man miss. How about that? An exclamation point as Pearl River will head to 4-2.
Wow.
Chase Littleton.
That is what you like to see for this Pearl River team, to put the nail in the coffin right there. As they have worked hard all night, Littleton has been a workhorse. Great job by the Rebels right there.
Pearl River's best start in as long as I can remember, Coach. 4-2 is what they will be in 1 minute and 6 seconds as the extra point is up, and it is good. 66 seconds left from the Pearl. It's the Pearl River Rebels 28 and the Ben Franklin Falcons 13. Ethan Martinson to kick it away, as it is St. Etienne and Gonzalez back deep. It'll be St. Etienne. And he is brought down, and the helmet of St. Etienne is ripped off, and there's no flag. It was Gonzalez who had his helmet ripped off. It looked like a Rebel got his hand in there, but no flag. And there is exactly 1 minute remaining in this one.
Well, I'll tell you, Pearl River, we've talked about it all night, how much improved they are. And one of the ways that you can see, one of the reasons for that improvement is, you look on the sideline right now, and you look at this coaching staff, they're still in the middle of coaching. There's 1 minute left, and they're up 15. And you're seeing coaches still working hard. They're still in the ears of players as they come off the sidelines. They're working over here at the Pearl.
Hale on first down will roll. Cuts against the grain. Plenty of time, and now taking a shot downfield. Incomplete. No flag on plenty of contact there, as Hale was looking for Vincent Durham, his first target of the night. Next week, Pearl River will have their biggest test to date with Coach Labradette against the Salmon Spartans here in the Prep Zone. Salmon, barring a win this week, will go into that game winless, so both teams are going to be hungry, as that would be a huge program resume builder for Pearl River, and Salmon is looking to get back in the playoff hunt.
Absolutely, no doubt. That's going to be a tough test for this Rebel team.
Pressure coming off the edge. Hale floats one up. Intercepted. Coming back the other way. Ethan Martinson. Looking for his signal. Touchdown. Touchdown. Ethan Martinson rocks the crib for Pearl River. And now this game in the box score is going to be a huge win for the Rebels. 34-13.
And you know what? Good for Ethan Martinson, because he has worked hard on offense thus far this evening, and he hasn't seen the benefit of it, as the rest of the backs have done a good job of getting in the end zone, and now he chips in, as we've been talking about the Franklin players playing both ways.
Extra point is no good. The first flaw in the special teams of Pearl River tonight. And with 39 seconds to go, the running Rebs have opened up this lead. It is 34-13, Pearl River over Ben Franklin. There's a kick. It'll take a bounce and will be fielded by Cameron Nicholas, who makes a few men miss and will be tackled at the 30-yard line. And the clock rolls and will be stopped at 32 seconds. Looking back at this game, Jack Hale, who has rushed for 100-plus yards, and Matthew Winfield, who also has 100-plus yards, are the stars for Ben Franklin tonight, but it's costly mistakes by Hale that really put Ben Franklin in a hole, and the score does not indicate how close this game really was.
Yeah, it was a tough game, and again, we said we kept talking about when we were going to see fatigue play an issue, and it never was physical. It was on the mental side of the game for these young guys.
This is a reverse, and there's some rubber. What a block on the edge by Dante Scott. Scott continues his strong night, and it's unfortunate, Coach, you talked about it. He's been undoubtedly the MVP for Ben Franklin tonight, but he's going to be looked at as the GOAT after that fumble on that drive. Ben Franklin was looking to tie the game, if not take the lead.
Yeah, and there's nothing anybody's gonna be able to say to Dante Scott to take away the sting of that fumble. But the kid has played an incredible game on the defensive side of the ball, and he seems still down to the last second getting
Final
after
play
it.
of the game. Ben Franklin gets it off. It's a reverse, and they're going to say that this play did not count. And this is a wild way to end that one. Very interesting end to that one. And Pearl River improves to 4-2 on the year, following a 34-13 victory over the Ben Franklin Falcons. We'd like to thank those people who brought you tonight's game, starting with our superintendent, Mr. Trey Foles, director of broadcasting, Dr. Melody Swain, cameramen tonight, Rhett Sharp and Dave the Rave Williams. Alongside me is Coach Bill Gallagher. I'm John Sartori. Thanks for watching, everyone. We will see you next week for the Pearl River Rebels and the Salmon Spartans. You are now leaving the Prep Zone.